Hi, Paul. It's great to see you. Great to sit down and chat with you.
Hello, Wagner. Wonderful to see you.
So, for hopefully for some future patrons of One Voice or some people who are new to One Voice, I would love if you could just introduce yourself and tell us how you're related to the chorus.
Well, Paul Petrella here, and I'm founder of the chorus back in 1988. Um, and back at that time, placed a little classified ad in Equal Time newspaper, an LGBT paper back at that time. And through that little classified ad, was able to put together a committee of people. We first met at Annie's Parlor in at the University of Minnesota campus, and and started discussing what it would take to put together mixed chorus, and then that was in February of 1988 when we had the first meeting, and then by the fall we had things put together. Did a search for a conductor and had rehearsals starting in the fall, such that we had our first concert in March of 1989.
So I would love to ask you a couple questions. The first one is based on an activity that we've done in rehearsal. One of the first rehearsals we had with new singers is I introduced the colors of the pride flag and the meanings associated with those colors. And so each new person had a group of like longer term one voicers kind of determined based on a couple questions like what color they think they might be in the rainbow. And so we've or the pride flag colors. And so then we kind of expanded it out and talked about um, what colors of the flag that we feel like related to us and about the changing of the colors of the flag and all the ways that we kind of carry our history forward of resilience and how we kind of meet the demands of the world now in terms of equity and in terms of inclusion. So I would love to know what colors of the old flag and the new flag resonate with you and why that might be.
Well, they all resonate with me, and here's my view.
Sure.
I see the rainbow flag as a holistic symbol as it appears, with the colors open to individual interpretation.
Mhm.
So, but what I see with that flag is I think of our unity, our unified community together under that banner. That's that's what I see, and that's what I feel when I see the flag.
Absolutely.
Um, and that's how I envision One Voice. Um, the inclusion which the flag and the chorus represent demonstrate that unity, and that unity, um, which has expanded the flag and who it represents has expanded and become more inclusive over the years. And so for me, it's just this holistic symbol.
I love that. There was definitely I wouldn't say a big divide, but there were definitely a couple people in our rehearsal who were like, I see the whole thing as a symbol. Like that is a symbol of our community. And breaking it down, it's like cool to see what the colors mean. Um, but we love it as a symbol of who we are and who we
Mhm.
aspire to be even. And also it was interesting to just see the people who were like, I love that green represents nature and then relating the queer experience to nature. So still couched within the
Mhm.
whole flag, but like separate segments of it. So that's cool to see. Interesting to see how people think of what has like become a symbol of the queer community.
And continues to be.
Yeah, and
It's
continues to be.
it's marvelous.
So still relating to the flag in the queer community. What's the biggest change, or maybe even society? What's the biggest change you've seen in yourself and what you're advocating for and fighting for in your life?
Well, as I have become older, I have to admit, I have become older as the years fly by. It sometimes feels that I have less ability to make an impact on social equity for LGBTQ people. Um, and I've seen that in some of my friends too, my long-term friends,
Hmm.
going way back, as our lives change and some dealing with health issues and that sort of thing. Um, but as I have gotten older, I found ways to pivot, um, and influence in ways that are different from when I was younger. And sometimes that means more personal, individual, social interactions rather than organizational engagements. And I
Hmm.
did a lot of organizational engaging and a lot of organizing, back in the day. Um, so I've changed my approach a bit, and this probably has been good for me personally to make that change a bit. Um, but still get involved in some organizational activities as well. As a gay man, for my entire life, I have continually been a strong advocate for unity and equality, for the LGBTQ community and also for communities of color. And that has been unwavering. And as I see it, we must all work together in harmony to make progress.
Hmm.
That's key.
Amen to that. I feel like I obviously I'm still working organizationally, right, as head of kind of an organization, but especially in the linking of the queer community and people of color. I feel like the interactions tend to get kind of siloed into two different causes.
Mm-hmm.
Up
Mm-hmm.
to queer-led organizations to be like, no, this isn't a silo, right? Intersectionality is a huge component of the people who are in the room. Like it's not only race and sexuality, but it's gender and it's class and it's education. And there's all this
Mm-hmm.
overlap. And we in no way in the fight for progress have to settle.
Exactly, exactly. Those can be challenging conversations.
Hmm, definitely.
And yep, yep. And helping bring that together, takes work and effort and intention. It is possible.
Yeah,
It is absolutely possible.
it's possible. And the more committed you are, I don't know. I also struggle with the idea of how much of an impact am I actually making? You know, you make small choices over time.
Hmm.
But a great mentor of mine always says that equity is not an outcome, it's the product of the choices you make. And so kind of like the legacy that you end up leaving behind. It's sort of like the butterfly effect. It's like one little thing after the other. And so you might look back and be like, oh, I see this path behind me. But ultimately you've revealed something and you've created something that even if you can't see has happened and continues to happen after
Hmm.
you. So you just
Hmm.
have to be fierce in the work, even though it can be a struggle sometimes.
And it can take a number of years. Um, and it's particularly gratifying when you see certain values, that you have infused,
Hmm.
uh, actually be retained.
Hmm.
It's very, very, very satisfying to see that, and enriching to see that. And it's enriching for yourself, but it's enriching for those who are influenced by it. So, just got to keep at it
Keep
and
on keep.
watch for those signs.
Yeah. So thinking of this journey, you didn't start a nonprofit like queer mutual aid organization necessarily in paper terms, and you didn't start something that had to do with like housing inequalities or food. You chose art, you chose choir, a space where
Yes.
people could come and sing together and kind of share of themselves. So in thinking of that as what you were hoping to create, where there were voices of all genders coming together, what do artistic spaces mean for you in your personal journey in for fighting for advocacy and fighting for joy? Because ultimately, that's what we're fighting for: equitable joy.
In starting the chorus, it was really important to me that we focus on not only the music, but what the music is saying. Okay.
Hmm.
So to me, that was a core value. That was really a core value. And earlier on, keep in mind, spaces where we could do that were more limited.
Hmm.
We were very lucky to have a partnership with McAllister at the beginning, and also a partnership with All God's Children's MCC for a rehearsal space in the
Hmm.
beginning. And we didn't have many choices. Um, it's different now. It's thank goodness it's different now. And in terms of artistic spaces and expression and personally getting enjoyment, um, I think creative and enjoyable collaborations in more varied venues, where the chorus can reach more and different people in a variety of ways. So that could be an art gallery
Hmm.
performance. And I've seen some performances like that actually here in Miami, which are really, really great, really amazing, where the singers are interacting within the art space or dancers in an art space. So we were just at a performance like that last week,
Amazing.
where there were dancers in our in actually this was amazing in a furniture store that had an art exhibition and dance performance. I mean,
So
so
cool.
it's really cool. I mean, it's like a high-end, designer furniture store. I mean, so thinking about um, there are some very creative ways that that can happen, and that's a great example.
Yeah.
So there could be, choral and art and dance performance in an unusual space. There could be outdoor performances, which One Voice has done in a
Mhm.
variety of places, um, but there are some that maybe could be considered again or haven't been considered, like the Walker Art Center Sculpture Garden outside. Um, Orchestra Hall with the Minnesota Orchestra, of course, bigger collaborations with some larger organizations. Um, Performing in a greater variety of venues and to different audiences
Yeah.
is super exciting, both for the singers and for the audiences.
Yeah.
So expansive thinking about what those venues might like and the collaborations could be.
Yeah. It certainly speaks to different ways in which musical expression can bring joy. There's no reason why
Hmm.
we shouldn't be able to experience that in something like the Ordway or something like Orchestra Hall. Why is that necessarily different than a furniture store or an art museum or a park?
Hmm.
Thinking about ways in which it is helpful for others to see expression of whatever
Hmm.
emotion it might be in kind of solidarity and share in that. I love that.
Hmm.
So in
Yeah,
thinking about,
it's
oh, go
oh,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to pivot to thinking of what it's been like, because this is like your baby, right? Your brainchild that is now turning 35. So, what has it been like to watch the development of the chorus from when you first started, when it was like such a vital space for each and every member to be able to have that safe space? And now that representation is, I don't want to say easier, but it is much more widely accepted. The kind of need for this representation of advocacy has just shifted as we've kind of progressed. Yeah, what does it feel like to watch the chorus grow in this way?
It's been amazing to watch the chorus succeed, to see community develop, the friendships that people have, the musical expression that happens, the commissions. I'm incredibly proud and gratified, and my heart just overflows when it comes to One Voice. I cannot overstate that.
Yeah.
Um, and even living here, having moved away from the Twin Cities and living in Florida, um, the connection is really still very strong for me. And the organization, it's just been amazing to see it grow into such a robust, stable, well-staffed, creative, and dynamic organization,
Hmm.
with, over 100 singers on the roster for years, um, and LGBTQ people and allies singing beautifully on stage together, showing pride and unity and strength as a community. It's fantastic. And it's an honor and a privilege to continue working with the chorus remotely, as a fifth section volunteer. Um, and as the founder, I see the chorus as a tremendously important life legacy and enduring, I hope, gift. People would consider that as a gift of sorts to
Hmm.
the community. And I also have to say that the organization has succeeded because of the hard work of so many people, um, who have contributed incredible amounts of their time, their talent, their energy, their effort and enthusiasm over many years. And it is, it is a testament. The chorus's success is a testament to the dedication of all of those people. It
Hmm.
it takes a village. It has been a big village that has grown, one voice to the organization it is today. I am
Do
personally grateful to everyone.
we are again, we are grateful that you started this beautiful community that gets to evolve, like has the opportunity to do so, which I think is very rare.
Thank you, Agua.
Do you have any other? You talked a little bit about this, changing up where we sing, what we present to different audiences, kind of the legacy that has already been created and that will continue moving. But do you have any other hopes for the future of One Voice?
I would say continuing musical excellence with purpose, building community. I think building community internally,
Mm.
perhaps a bit more could be really, really a wonderful, healthy, thing. And continuing the social change through song. That, the music has a purpose. The music is communicating messages, of unity and that social change and equity. Um, Going beyond our historical focus, perhaps on performing for our community and supporters, which is easier to do,
Mhm.
and outreach performances in smaller communities, which are important. Um, I would love to see, the chorus performing perhaps, in more venues where they can have maximum impact on social change. So, in other words, bringing joy, harmony, awareness, unity, and food for the soul to broader audiences, that may go beyond, what has been done in the past.
Mhm.
So I think about that a lot, and especially given, the political climate today, where it feels like we are losing some of the ground we had gained,
Yeah.
that this becomes even more important. We need to sing for ourselves and give ourselves strength that way. We need to do that, but we still need to, change hearts and minds out there in the greater world. And so whatever we can do to make that happen, music is an amazing, um, vehicle for doing that, and an incredible opportunity to make change in a way that, people, um, enjoy, and um, and nurture people to be more supportive of our community.
Mhm. Yes. And I hope to make some of that happen.
Absolutely.
We're gonna see.
Absolutely. I know you will. It's being done, and it'll keep happening.
For at least another 35 years.
I hope so. I'm not
Well,
going to say how old I'm going to be then.
you'll continue as long as one voice does. It's going to be a long, long, long life.
Boy,
All right. Well, thank you for sitting down with me, Paul. I appreciate it.
absolutely, Wagwa. Thank you for this talk and sharing with each other. I appreciate it very much. And my love to everyone.
Oh, spread it far and we'll spread it wide.
Thank you.